All right, Sam. You'll need to work through several steps to complete this order. To begin with, collect the cache of materials waiting for you on the DHP Magellan. Take these to the mine north of F1. The location has been marked for you on your map. And when you arrive there, submit the materials using the terminal on site. This will allow you to restore the facility to working order. Next, access the terminal again to commence mining operations. If all goes well, a large quantity of materials should be extracted. You'll then need to deliver those materials to West Fort Knott. Consider making use of the monorail located at the mine to make life easier. Upon your arrival at F1, use the delivery terminal to submit all the materials for processing and to finally complete the order. That's all there is to it. So begin plotting your route to the mine north of F1. On this occasion, you'll be delivering some heavy materials. You can use a tri-cruiser to transport them. Alternatively, floating carriers can now be fabricated. These carriers are ideal for taking heavy cargo across terrain ill-suited to vehicles. If that sounds good to you, try fabricating one and loading the materials onto it. And when you're not using the carrier for cargo, you can hop aboard and kick the ground and use it as a makeshift skateboard. Just remember that floating carriers require chiral crystals to function, so keep a supply on hand.
another porter here. Since you brought this site onto the chiral network, perhaps they thought they could make use of the additional data to make a safe run. Want to go and say hello?
This one's for you. Ben and Andy. Thank you kindly. This one's for you. This one's for you. Thank you kindly. Thanks for the help. This one's for you. Okay. Feels good.
detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds. Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care, Sam.
That's the place, huh? Feels good. Almost there.
Decontamination in progress. No anomalies today. Welcome, Sam. Well done, Sam. I've never seen a working monorail before. Think of all the stuff it could carry. All right then, why don't we extract some materials? Very good, Sam. Now all you have to do is load the extracted materials onto the monorail for transport. Let's begin by accessing that delivery terminal.
Feels good.
Did you actually manage to restore the monorail? Awesome! With it back up and running, you'll be able to transport materials from the mines. Right. Sorry. Let's take a look at these materials you brought. Would you look at all this? I think it's safe to say we'll have nothing to worry about for a while. Found some of our missing stuff, did you? I thought this was gone for good.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Oh, here's a little something extra as thanks. I got them just for you. Figured they'd suit your style. They sure weren't easy to come by. A real collector's item, I hear. We really appreciate your help. At the risk of stating the obvious, it's gonna take an awful lot of resources to restore the other roads and monorails to working order. But at least with this monorail operational, you can bring us large shipments of materials with relatively minimal effort. That's gonna go a long way towards getting other sections up and running again. We can fabricate pickup off-roaders now, by the way. I'm pretty fond of them myself. It's a large four-wheel drive vehicle, boasts significant cargo carrying capacity for the hard-working porter. The driver's seat is in an elevated position and exposed by design. This allows the driver to survey their surroundings more easily and engage enemies with small arms if necessary. You can customize it quite a bit too, attach all kinds of different parts as you like. That said, a lot of parts are still in development, but you'll receive their data as soon as it's ready. The schematics for this vehicle have already been shared with everyone on the Chiral network, which means that we can look forward to other people drafting even more new parts. Sure, the monorail network was extensive and once stretched across a good chunk of Australia's coastline. But repeated exposure to timefall has seen it degrade significantly. And with the constant threat of BTs and armed groups, it's not been possible to repair the damage. If you happen to come across a track layer, be sure to feed it any materials you can spare. Even a small contribution will make a difference. Anyway, just something to think about. We're so grateful for the assistance, Sam. You've been a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day.
You managed to save the day, Sam. The people here now have more than enough supplies for their needs. They should be able to prepare cargo for the next delivery too. But first, I have some information to share with you. About Lou. Return to the DHV Magellan so we can talk.
Order completed. Well done.
Hey, Sam. How's it going? I have updates for you, if you have time.
I take it you've learned more about Lou?
We followed up on the message Deadman left for you at the lab. About how there was another BB-28, not Lou, who, according to the records, was decommissioned 4 years ago. The first time you and Lou met was about 2 years ago now, when you were entrusted with the BB previously issued to Bridges Corp's disposal. And together, the two of you made it all the way across North America.
Deadman and everyone else at Bridges, they all called Lou BB-28.
Right. Because that was Lou's serial number. You see, we found the records for the BB storage facility. By cross-referencing the data, we confirmed that after BB-28 was decommissioned 4 years ago, Lou was assigned the same designation and placed into storage.
So what you're telling me is that instead of getting a new serial number, Lou inherited an old one?
As for Lou's mother, following the C-section, it seems she passed away. And that, pretty much, is the extent of our recent discoveries. Without a still mother to provide support, it makes sense that Lou was kept in reserve. But we still have no idea who approved the serial number reassignment, much less why they did it.
Higgs said there were things I didn't know. Maybe this is what he was talking about.
I think it could be.
I want to know everything about Lou.
You're playing his game, Sam. Chasing after the past is what Higgs wants you to do.
I need to know where Lou came from. I have to know.
If you're sure, Sam, I'll keep digging. In the meantime, you should get plenty of rest before your next mission.
seems Tarman decided to leave a few books for you. Right there, by your bed. Reading is a wonderful way to take your mind off things. Trust me. Good morning, Sam. There are organisms in this area that I don't believe I've ever laid eyes on before. My understanding is that they're called chiral creatures, and they come in all shapes and sizes. Apparently, they will drain your batteries if you come into contact with them. There may be other deleterious effects for all we know. And really, you shouldn't be bothering them anyway. There's nothing to be gained from it. It's not like they drop coins when defeated. I don't really have anything else to say right now. That's Tarman's son. He must have placed a photograph in here for safekeeping. This is an important memento. Why don't we go and take it to him?
I found this picture in your book. Is this your son?
Thank you. Yes. He's still out there somewhere, borne along on the currents, with this right hand of mine. It's due to my connection with said missing piece that I can read the movements of the tar. Something akin to a phantom pain. You want to hear the story?
Sure.
I was both a medical doctor and a geophysics researcher once upon a time. In those days, the tar currents were a key focus of mine. This ship was originally built to facilitate my studies, in fact. The deep tar hunting vessel Magellan, we named it. A ship perfectly suited to pursuing the creatures that thrive in the tar's depths. Another avenue of research, you might say. We called them chiral mammals, for lack of a better name. Seemed like the closest fit. Reckoned if we caught one, we could figure out all the mysteries. The tar, the tides, hell, maybe even the stranding.
Whoa, she's a big one.
Strip yourself in, son.
Tar's looking calm. I'll be fine, Pop. You seeing this? I think she's pregnant. Hey, Pop. This is weird.
Storm! And just like that, the tar took my boy, and my hand along with him. At first, I thought this little guy was my son reborn.
If I may ask a question, the hunters that attacked you after you caught the chiral mammal, are you sure they came from within the creature's womb?
Yes. That said, I'm not of the opinion that the hunters were its offspring.
Its womb merely served as a gateway to the other side.
Indeed. The tar and the beach are connected.
Moby Dick, or The Whale, seems to be one of Tarman's favorite novels. As the name suggests, it's a story about a white sperm whale named Moby Dick. Captain Ahab, one of the main characters, uses a prosthetic leg made of whalebone to replace the one Moby Dick took long ago. He's obsessed with getting revenge against the whale, which he hates with a terrible passion, all while nursing the phantom pain of his lost leg. In the end, Ahab fails to exact vengeance on his foe and is dragged into the sea. His crew's only survivor is Ishmael, the book's narrator. He was rescued after clinging desperately to a coffin-shaped life buoy. That's right, a coffin was his savior. Ironic, isn't it? How you use a thing makes all the difference. On a dark night in May 1816, 3 men and 2 women found themselves confined to a villa on the shore of Lake Geneva. A catastrophic volcanic eruption had wrought havoc on the global climate, and a relentless rain hammered down outside. With little else to do, the occupants of the villa decided to compose ghost stories. And it was on this fateful night that a woman named Mary penned what would become Frankenstein. Mary, who was only 18 years of age, had already lived a tumultuous life. She was engaged in an affair with the poet Percy Bysshe Shelley at the time, whom she would later go on to marry. A dramatic retelling of these events was committed to film prior to the death Stranding. Titled Mary Shelley, it stars Elle Fanning in the lead role. Now, where have I heard that name before? The Pequod is the ship in which Ahab pursues Moby Dick on his quest for vengeance. His crew includes Dutchmen, Frenchmen, Spaniards, Portuguese, Icelanders, as well as shipmates from China and India. Countless other people of myriad origins, too. It is arguably symbolic of the multiracial United States. A gathering of souls that transcends ethnic and national divisions, united in pursuit of a singular goal. I can't help but be reminded of Kojima Productions. Wait, judging by your reaction, you've never heard of Kojima Productions? Sam, you can't be serious. The gathering of storytellers that spawned Mary Shelley's Frankenstein gave rise to yet another legendary creature of horror fiction. I speak, of course, of the vampire. A physician named Polidori was also in attendance that evening, and he later unveiled his creation in a new novel. As I may have mentioned before, the summer of that year was unusually cold. In Europe alone, 200,000 people are said to have perished as a result. Could it be that a widespread fear that the world might be coming to an end served as inspiration for two classic monsters? I find it a compelling theory. Certain parallels can be drawn between Captain Ahab's pursuit and the Prometheus myth. Prometheus is a deity said to have stolen fire from the heavens in order to give it to humans. In essence, he bestowed upon them the power of the gods themselves. This power manifested as technology. Humans crafted tools, and with them brought nature to heal and built great civilizations. Perhaps the author intended to frame Ahab's pursuit of the white whale as one akin to mankind's struggle against the forces of nature. We ourselves are arguably living out our own Prometheus myth as we fight to overcome the Death Stranding. No, we definitely are. And we're not about to lose. It should be noted that the monster's name is not Frankenstein, nor was it ever given a proper name. Frankenstein is the name of its creator and the story's protagonist, Victor Frankenstein. Through its many movie adaptations, the image of the disturbing and unstable patchwork creature has grown ever more vivid. And in the process, the misconception that it was called Frankenstein was born. In the original novel, however, it was an intelligent, human-like being that craved acceptance. A clever, gentle giant cobbled together from others. Not unlike our dead man, don't you think? And while he doesn't appear in Shelley's original work, in several movies, Frankenstein is joined by a rather memorable assistant named Igor. Igor and Victor. Now, where have I heard those two names before? I've known Tarman for quite a while now, but that was the first time I've heard him speak about his son in that fashion. It made me wish that I could do something, anything to ease his burden. But setting aside those feelings, suppose that cat of his is in fact his son reborn. Why does it treat me as though I'm a threat? Does it just hate me? Reincarnation or not, perhaps it's still a cat at heart. That looks wonderful. Ready to head out, Sam? I sure am. I was born ready. Sam, I think it's high time we get going. All this relaxation is no good for my sciatica.
Hi, Sam.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Looking clean as a whistle.
Extraction was successful. It was transferred to a sterilized pod and sent to a separate facility. Ready to proceed with corpse disposal? 1.
Feels good.
Keep on keeping on.
Sam, your next destination is the Northern Environmental Observatory. Like its Western counterpart, this observatory is a critical facility that will help us to monitor the changes taking place in the Australian environment. To bring it online, you'll have to navigate the canyon to the northeast of your current position. But before that, you'll need to link up another site en route.
Sam, the next site we want you to link up is called Rainbow Valley. A friend of Drawbridge is waiting for you there. Once the network connection has been established, they'll be joining us on the DHV Magellan. I recruited them myself when we first met in the UCA. You can pick up the order from the delivery terminal. I'm looking forward to seeing you both. Thanks again, Sam.
Order accepted. Thank you.
this mean the drawbridge has finally come to the valley? Oh, thank you. I'm glad you could make it. It's an honor to welcome you here. I almost can't believe how good this looks. Thank you so much. Of all the things you could have brought us, where did you even find this? Thank you, Sam. We'll be hoping to see more of you in the future. The next step involves the Cupid, yeah? Okay then, let's do this.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
The connection looks strong and steady to me. That cargo you brought along is going to make a world of difference, too. It'll allow us to proceed with our terraforming initiative. Hopefully, no more towns will have to suffer the fate of the one down below us. Oh, we've shared our tar cannon data with everyone, by the way. I suspect you'll find it useful in your own work. Try it out. See if it suits your needs. Tar cannons are invaluable pieces of equipment that we use to combat forest fires. Now, while fires are a common occurrence in this region, water is a precious resource. So these cannons were developed as extinguishers that utilize the tar contained within the earth itself. They leverage the tar's viscosity, making them one of the most effective methods of combating fire we have. When deployed on the ground, they can both extract and discharge tar simultaneously. You can pick up the cannon and use it on the go as well, but you'll be unable to refill its tar reservoir while doing so. If you find yourself caught in a wildfire, you'll need to figure out when to shoot and when to move in order to make it out alive. You've probably passed the town I mentioned on your way up here. At a glance, it might have looked like nothing more than a cluster of massive boulders. But those were once buildings. Places where people used to live. As the desert kept creeping closer, the town was abandoned overnight. They'd been forced to evacuate. The few who were left behind became BTs. Still, at least the exodus went to plan. There are no void-outs at any rate. This region was once filled with lush vegetation, over which birds soared and serenaded, until all that beautiful life fell prey to sudden desertification. We swore to do everything in our power to bring back what was lost. Around the time we got started, the APAC people showed up. With their help, we've been able to achieve a modest measure of success. But moving forward, we have to find a way to nurture and protect what little we have on our own. Thanks for everything, Sam. You and Drawbridge have helped ensure that these lands will one day be filled with life again, however long it takes. In particular, that comrade of yours has performed absolute miracles for us. If you're looking to link up with them, you'll find them in the ravine on the other side of the river, directly opposite this shelter. Come back and visit anytime.
Right. Time to meet up with our comrade. Let's see. They should be around here somewhere.
Feels good.
Impressive work, Sam.
Just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me.
I think I spooked her.
I really couldn't say. I certainly haven't ever seen her dance like that before.
It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me.
Go on, Sam. Follow her into that facility.
Feels good.
Somebody lend me a hand! Hey! Hello! Hey! I'm Sam!
Thanks for coming, Sam. I'm sorry about just now. I didn't know who you were at first.
You're the picture of health, Rainey.
You too, little man.
You had some kind of a trick for dealing with timefall?
Rainey, it's been too long.
Fragile.
Can't wait to see you again.
What are we waiting for, Sam? Let's head to the DHV Magellan. Fragile. Hi.
Hi. Nice to meet the old-fashioned way. Chirograms are great, but nothing beats a hug. Well, I'm sure you already know. This is Rainey. She's a good friend of the cause.
It really is a pleasure to meet you, Sam.
Nice to meet you too.
Glad to see you in good health.
And it's so good to see you all again.
To wake up to another order is just... I wish they could be a bit more considerate. I was glad to see Rainey in such high spirits. She's grown so bright and energetic, almost unrecognizable from our first meeting. A pity that her child shows no similar signs of development. Rainey used to be much more quiet and withdrawn. She seemed averse to spending time with people. Dolls, too. It was singing and dancing that got her to open up. I'm something of a performer myself, though I've never showed anyone. The Rainbow Valley greenhouses are the product of our researchers' hard work. And thanks to you and me, those invaluable structures will endure for a good while yet. I don't really have anything else to say right now. Oh boy, I really miss the taste of food.
Can anybody hear me?
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, this is nice.
Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.